Guys, we have the next song off of the Stage album by Avenged Sevenfold. We're going right down every single track of this album, so you should subscribe and hit the bell for notifications so you can be notified when these songs drop. I'm going to try to get all these done in the week. We'll see if I can finish this album off. Let me know down below. Is there any other bands you want me to react to? I'm just curious if you have another favorite alongside Avenged Sevenfold. Of course, I'm going to keep doing Avenged Sevenfold, but eventually I'm going to run out. So I love some suggestions of tracks that you're like, hey man, I really want that one separated. Let's go ahead and jump into this. Nice. I love the atmosphere that they're adding with just guitars here. It really opens it up. And that fill too in the beginning was cool. That little like wavering effect that you hear in the guitar, I really like that. It really fills out the sounds. Love it, love it. And if you hear the rhythm right there, it matches those drums perfectly. And then you're just like, you're right into it, right into it. Beautiful. Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. Loving these double-tracked vocals here. We got one that's an octave lower and one in the middle high range. Let's hear that isolated. So we got 3 vocal tracks going on. I love this effect. Avenged Sevenfold is really good at doubling up the vocals in the right area. So it's interesting that they have this many layers out the gate, because normally they lead up to this, and this is a little different. We're getting a little different mixing style here. Oh. Oh, interesting. Woo! Oh, that's interesting. I like how the vocals go with the guitar right there. In the beginning, though, we had some hi-hat openings going on with the bass and the drums. I like that little vibe that was happening there. Got that little fills in there. Hell yeah. I like that they're keeping the stripped back feel that they had earlier with Goddamn. So we had Goddamn going into Creating God, and I really like how these songs are just going into each other. And we know later on, because I've heard Exist already, they get a lot more technical, a lot more progressive. There's still some nuances in here that are a little progressive, but not too much. And it's really interesting how they're just like progressing this album along.
Takes too long. A little kick in the pool shouldn't do us wrong. Now ain't the very last invention man would ever need. An exponential growth is a bright new thing. So we've only been enjoying rounded up and hung in the streets.
Loving the vocals. I'm getting, what vibe is, it's very 90s very 90s sounding right here. This is really showing. And, you know, we get a little bit of that in Life is But a Dream. We had some Alice in Chains vibes going on. You're getting a lot of that right now in this song.
So we've only me and Jay rounded up and hung in the streets. We're creating God, master of our design.
Ooh, I love the ambience on the vocals and what's going on in the background there.
We're creating God, unsure of what we'll find.
Oh, you know what it reminds me of? The octave chords? That song's like, oh my god, it's gonna kill me that I don't remember the name of it. What? It's Epic. Epic by Faith No More. Like Faith No More vibes going on there. That's what it kind of reminds me of with those octave chords. Wait, do we have a lot of layers of vocals going on right there? Got some screaming, I think, too, in there. I love how they mix that scream in there. See what I mean? I was wondering too, because we start off with 3 layers of vocals. I'm like, they're probably gonna get crazy for like the finale before we transition. They always do that in their mixing style, and I really like that. All these little things you can do with your mixes to make things interesting and make the transitions more unique, and Avenged Sevenfold has that mastered. And they're lowering the volume of the vocals right there. Like very subtly. Oh. Woo! Hell yeah. God damn, drums are so good. Hell yeah. I love that. I love the call and response of the chorus with the guitar solo. I love that kind of thing where you just like call back to the theme of the song, do some callbacks to the melodies that were played earlier. I think that's missed in a lot of new solos or leads these days where they don't like use what happened before in the solo, and I think that really glues the song together. And that's what I like about Sinister Gates solos, is that the solos seem to always kind of sum up what the song's about, if that makes any sense. Does that make sense? Let me know in the comments. I think that makes sense. You can feel every bend. That's what I love about his leads. You can feel the like you feel the bend, you know?
You notice that I'm needing it more now, more than it needs me. Got a couple of billion that seem to agree. Stepping in an artificial dimension, but we're not alone.
Is that like they did that with a kick, like that, and it was like knocking out of a physical dimension, I think he said? What? That's pretty cool. I like that cleverness there, if that's what he said. Let me see what shoving in and out of a physical dimension. I like that feel because like it does feel like a push shove before those lyrics come in with the kick drum. Was that intentional? I don't know.
Stepping in an artificial dimension, but we're not alone. Now the master has become just a stepping stone. Like the blow to the ego, the bitter pill so harder to take. We're creating God, master of our designs. We're creating
Hell yeah.
God, unsure of what we We're creating God in search of the
You can hear the drums developing now at this part. We're getting a little bit more added hits going on there, a little bit off, like we're getting on the upbeats and the downbeats. You're getting a little bit added kick and snare. I love how the drums are just getting more complicated as we're going throughout the song. So I thought this was interesting. I want to share with you all in case you didn't know. So the stage, M Shadows talks about this a little bit with Sirius XM Octane host Jose Magan, and he talks with him about what the album's about essentially in all these songs, and it kind of makes sense now that I read the lyrics for this song. But he says that it's not really a concept album, but it's very conceptual in terms of artificial intelligence, and he's just talking about like where is it going in the future, some of the big questions that need to be answered very soon, what's going to happen in the next 10 to 50 years with artificial intelligence, which is kind of crazy because artificial intelligence just got popular now, and he was talking about this 7 years ago, which is pretty cool to see that he's like ahead of the curve with all these questions, because now people are asking all these questions, which is interesting. He then goes on to say that the album does go into space exploration, which we talked about with Exist, and how AI could help us with that, and also how AI could be detrimental to the human race, so it explores all those things. So that's very interesting, and that puts a lot of this into perspective for the album. And yeah, it did feel like a concept album, and that's why it felt like a concept album, but I can see why he says that it isn't. But most of the songs are similar themed. Dude, you hear that, Phil? Brooks is amazing. What a great drummer. All that groove, man. All that groove right there. Just, feeling it. You can feel that Brooks is feeling it. Oh, I like that. So you have the vocals like fading out and then fading back in, and that's really cool. So what they did with this is they do some automation to kind of control the volume to make it go lower, and I really like that effect. And then it swells back in. And the way that they do that, when I say automation, it looks something like this. They'll take, for example, they'll take a volume. This is like the volume right here, and then they'll adjust it like that, and then you see how that curves up like that. That is how they make the volume get louder slowly. And then reverse, you can do it like this, and it'll bring it down. And that's how you get automation like this, or get those little dynamics in songs. And very cool. And what they do live to replicate that is they'll have MIDI set up for the effects of the vocals, and it'll automatically trigger as he's singing, or they'll do it themselves. They'll lower the volume of their voice and things like that. In this case, it was edited in, but I'm sure if he did this live, he'd probably just do it himself. It'd be a little weird programming that, but I've seen it done. It's definitely been done. And MIDI is just a type of data that they send to either your pedal board or other electronics that tell it what to do. And that's what pretty much MIDI is. That's badass. Very solid song. Again, I can't wait to hear the album like from beginning to end. That's what I'm going to do after I finish doing reactions to every song on this album. Guys, if you want to support the channel further, we just released some new merch. If you like this shirt, we're selling it now. The link's down below. I would greatly appreciate it. It helps us keep doing what we're doing. And if I get 1,000 Patreons or 1,000 patrons on Patreon, I'll do a breakdown every single day for 30 days straight. See you in the next one. There's another Avenged Sevenfold video somewhere right here.